Joshua chapter 19. So the second lot rolled out for Simeon's crew. That's the tribe of Simeon, and their turf was actually inside Judah's zone. They scored spots like Beersheba or Sheba, depending who you ask, and Malada, Hazar-Shual, Bala and Azam, El-Talad, Bethel and Hormah, Ziklag, Beth-Markabith and Hazar-Susa, Bethel-Baith and Sharuhin. Total of 13 cities with their little neighborhoods. Plus Ain, Remmon, Ether, and Ashan for more cities and their cute little villages, and all the spots around those towns, all the way to Balathbeer and Ramoth of the south. So yeah, that was Simeon's whole vibe, divided up by fams. And FYI, Judah's zone was just way too big, so Simeon got a piece of the pie right inside it. Sharing is caring. Then boom. Third lot spun up for the Zebulun crew, and their border started at Sarid. From there it cruised out west to the sea, through Maralah, then to Dabasheth, and to the stream near Jokneam. It curved from Sarid eastward toward the sunrise, to Chisloth-Tabor, dipped to Dabarath, and climbed to Japhia. Then it slid along the east to Gittahefer and Etakazin, ending up at Remenmether. What a name! And finally to Ni. Then it wrapped around the north side to Hanathon, and finally flowed out into the chill valley of Jiphtahel. They also got Kadith, Nahalal, Shimron, Idala, and Bethlehem. 12 cities in total, plus all their mini-burbs. That was the Zebulun zone, sorted by tribe vibes and families. Fourth up, the Issachar fam. They drew their inheritance by families too. Their land stretched out toward Jezreel, Cheseloth, and Shunem, Hapharaim, Cheyenne and Anaharath, Rabbith, Kishan, and Abez, Remeth and Ganim, and Haddah and Bethpazes. Their turf ran all the way out to Tabor, Shahazima, and Bethshemesh, and their eastern edge ended at the Jordan River. 16 towns plus all their cute suburbs. So yeah, that was Issachar's inheritance. The cities and villages, totally fam-sorted. Then, whoa, fifth lot popped up for the tribe of Asher, and their families were like, it's go time. So Asher's border totally included Helkath, Hali, Beten, and Akshaph. Then it rolled through Elamelech, Amad, and Mizheel, all the way west to gnarly Mount Carmel and Shahorlibnath. Then it cruised east toward the sunrise to Beth-Dagon, hit Zebulun's border, dipped through the Rad Valley of Jiphtahel, past Bethemech and Neel, and boom, ended at Kabul on the left. It also picked up Hebron, Rehob, Hammon, and Cana, going all the way up to Big Ol Zidon. Then the line curved to Ramah and Tyre, that super chill fortress city, then turned again to Hosah, and finally surfed out to the sea at Akzib. They also snagged Duma, Afek, and another Rehob, 22 cities total, with all their mini-villages. And that was Asher's slice of the land, divided up between their fam squads. Next up, sixth lot landed for Naphtali's tribe, again sorted by family vibes. Their zone started at Heleph, ran from Alon to Zananim, passed through Adami and Nekeb and Jabneel, then stopped at Lacham and flowed right out to the Jordan River. Then the border boomeranged west to Aznaftabar, zipped through Hukkok, hugged Zebulun's line in the south, touched Asher on the west, and met Judah near the Jordan on the east where the sun rises. Their walled cities were super secure: Ziddim, Zur, Hammath, Rakith, and the lake town of Chinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, and Hazer, Kadesh, Edrei, and En-Hazer, plus Iron, Migdalel, Horam, Bethanath, and Bethshemesh. That's 19 total, all with their little satellite villages. So yeah, that was Naphtali's inheritance, cities and their hoods, passed down by tribe fams. Then whoa, the seventh lot rolled out for the tribe of Dan, and they split it up by families too. Their zone included Zorah, Eshtael, and Irshemesh, Shalabin, Ajalon, and Jethlah, Elon, Thimnatha, and Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, and Balath, Jahad, Beneberak, and Gathrimmon, plus Majarkin and Rakin, all the way out to the waves by Japho. But their turf wasn't quite enough, So the Dan crew totally took matters into their own hands, went and laid the smackdown on Leshem, claimed it as their own, settled in, and renamed it Dan, after their ancestor. Classic rebranding move. That was the inheritance of Dan's tribe, all those cities and chill villages. So once everyone had their zones mapped out, the Israelites also gave a special place to Joshua himself. Total VIP vibes. Totally your call, bro. And he picked Timnath-serah in Mount Ephraim. He built it up and lived there. Home's sweet holy home. And that's a wrap. Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and all the big tribal leaders did the lot casting thing in Shiloh, right at the tabernacle's front door, and that's how the land got officially split.
Joshua chapter 20. Then the Lord totally spoke to Joshua, saying, "Hey, tell the Israelites, you guys got to set up those refuge cities I told Moses about, remember? They're for peeps who accidentally take someone out. Totally didn't mean to, so they've got a safe zone from the blood avenger dude. When someone's running for their life and shows up at the city gate, they gotta explain their sitch to the city elders. Then let them in, give them a spot to crash. They're protected now. If the revenge guy shows up all fired up, the city peeps can't just hand over the slayer, 'cause it wasn't premeditated or anything. Total no-hate accident. The slayer should chill in the refuge city until there's a trial with the whole crew. And after the high priest of that era passes on, they can go back to their original turf, their pad, their hometown. So they picked out Kadesh in Galilee, that's up in the Naphtali zone, and Shechem in the hills of Ephraim, and Kirjath Arba, which is Og Hebron, in Judah's mountains. On the flip side of the Jordan, heading east of Jericho, they set up Bezer, straight up desert vibes from Reuben's tribe, Ramoth in Gilead, totally Gad, and Golan in Bashan, the Manasseh gang spot. These were the official safe cities for all of Israel, even for strangers just vibing in town. So anyone who killed someone by accident could book it there, stay safe, and not get whacked by the angry fam dude until there was a proper trial. Joshua chapter 21. So the big kahunas of the Levite fams cruised up to Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and all the tribal head dudes of Israel. And they were like, "Hey, the Lord totally told Moses to hook us up with towns to live in, and some chill land around them for our cows and stuff." So the Israelites, all obedient and whatnot, gave the Levites towns from their own stash, just like the Lord totally said. First lot rolled out for the Kohathite crew. The fam of Aaron the priest, who were Levites, BTW, scored 13 towns from Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin's turf. The rest of the Kohath fam got 10 cities from Ephraim, Dan, and half of Manasseh. Then the Gershon crew got 13 cities too from Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and the other half of Manasseh way up in Bashan. Merari's fam, the other Levite squad, got 12 cities from Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. And yup, all these towns with their chill surrounding land were passed out to the Levites by lot, just like the Lord had Moses lay it all out. Judah and Simeon stepped up first, offering cities mentioned by name, so no mystery suburbs here. These towns were for Aaron's fam, the Kohathite crew from Levi's line, because they got the first pick, lucky ducks. They gave them Arba's city, aka Hebron, in the Judah hills, with suburbs wrapped all around. But the fields and outer spots went to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, totally his land. So the priests in Aaron's fam got Hebron with its chill zones as a refuge city for folks who accidentally off someone. Also, Libnah with its hangout space. Jadar and Eshtemoa with suburbs, all theirs too. Holon and Debir, also with suburbs. Sweet deal. And let's not forget Ain, Judah, and Bethshemesh, all with their own suburb space. That's 9 cities total from those 2 tribes. From the Benjamin bros, they got Gibeon and Geba, both with suburbs. Also Anathoth and Almon, suburbs included. Altogether, The Aaron priest fam ended up with 13 rad towns with their surrounding pastures. Now for the rest of the Kohath fam, the non-priest dudes, they got their cities from the tribe of Ephraim. So they were gifted Shechem with its chill space in Mount Ephraim, another refuge city for accidental slayers, plus Gezer and its hangouts. Kibzaim and Bethron too, 4 cities in total. From the Dan fam, they scored Eltekeh and Gibbethon, yes, suburbs included. Also Aijalon and Gathrimmon, 4 cities, just like that. And from half the tribe of Manasseh, boom, Tanakh and Gathrimmon, 2 cities, no less. So in total, there were 10 totally rad towns, with their surrounding hangout zones for the leftover Kohath crew. And the Gershon fam, they scored Golan and Bashan, refuge town alert, and Bishtra, both with cozy suburbs, 2 towns total, dude. From the Issachar squad, they got Kishan, Dabareh, Jarmuth, and Enganim. All 4 came with suburbs, of course. From the Asher tribe, Mishal Abdon, Helkath, and Rehob, 4 towns for chill zones. And from Naphtali, they totally landed Kadesh in Galilee, also a refuge town, score Hamathdor and Kartan, 3 sweet spots. So all in all, the Gershonites got 13 towns with their hangouts. Talk about living large. Then came the Merari fam, the last Levite crew, and they got some real estate from Zebulun, Jokneam and Kertah, Dimnah and Nahalal, for more towny treats. From Reuben's squad, Bezer, Jahaza, Kedemoth, and Mephith, again, suburbs included. Gad's tribe threw in Ramoth in Gilead, another rad refuge town. Mahanaim, Heshbon, and Jazer. That's 4 fresh cities for the crew. So the Merari fam ended up with 12 cities by their lot. Not too shabby. In total, the Levites were rocking 48 cities all throughout Israel's land, each with its own chill surrounding zone. Every single one came with suburban vibes. It was like community goals, and the Lord totally delivered on his promises. He handed over all the land he said he'd give their ancestors. The Israelites moved in and got comfy. And get this, the Lord gave them ultimate peace all around. Not one enemy could hang with them. The Lord just wiped the board clean. No good thing he promised was left hanging. Every single word came true. Total divine follow-through, bro. Joshua, chapter 22. Then Joshua was like, okay, Reuben bros, Gad guys, and you half Manasseh crew, listen up. He said, you totally stuck with the program that Moses, the Lord's right-hand guy, laid out, and you totally did what I asked too. Major props. You didn't ditch your bros this whole time, and you've been super faithful to the Lord's instructions. Now, the Lord your God has totally come through and given your crew some well-earned rest, just like he said he would. So head back to your tents and your awesome land on the other side of the Jordan, the one Moses handed over to you. But for real, don't flake out on the Lord. Stick to his rules, totally love him. Follow his vibe, keep his commands, cling to him like seaweed to your surfboard, and serve him with your whole heart and soul. So Joshua gave them a high five, blessed them, and sent them on their way. They pieced out back to their tents. Half of Manasseh got their digs in Bashan thanks to Moses, and the other half got hooked up on the west side by Joshua. When they split, Joshua gave them another blessing, 'cause he's cool like that. He was like, yo, head home with your bling. Mad cattle, silver, gold, bronze, iron, and fresh clothes. Share the loot with your homies. So Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh packed it up and bounced from Shiloh in Canaan back to Gilead, their turf, their inheritance, just like Moses said on the Lord's behalf. When they hit the Jordan borders in Canaan, they were like, let's build something epic. So they threw up a massive altar, and it was super noticeable. The Israelites back home heard the gossip mill spinning. Yo, Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh built a whole other altar across the Jordan. That freaked them out, and the whole squad at Shiloh got ready to throw down and go to war against them. But first, they sent Phinehas, Eleazar, the priest's son, over to chat it out in Gilead with the 3 tribes. He rolled deep with 10 leaders, one from each of the main fams of Israel. They showed up and were like, "Yo guys, we need to talk." The whole crew is asking, what the actual trespass is going on. Why did you totally turn your backs on the Lord and build that altar? Are you trying to rebel today, or what? Okay, so wasn't the mess up at Peor gnarly enough for us already? We're still not totally chill from that plague the Lord sent on the squad. And now, you're totally bailing on the Lord today? Don't you know if you mess around like this, tomorrow the Lord could totally rage on all of us? If the land you got is sketchy or something, come hang with us where the Lord's tabernacle is. Just don't go rogue and build your own altar. It's giving rebellion, and we are not vibing with that. Remember Achan, that dude from Zerah's fam who took the cursed stuff? Yeah, wrath hit us all because of him, and he totally didn't go down solo. Then the brothers from Reuben, Gad, and half Manasseh stood up and were like, "The Lord God of gods, yes, totally divine like the ultimate. He knows what's up, and so will Israel. If we're being shady or rebelling, don't even bother saving us today. If we built this altar to ditch the Lord or to offer gnarly sacrifices on it instead of his legit altar, yeah, let the Lord himself handle us. But seriously, we built it because we were thinking ahead, you know? Maybe someday your kids might say to our kids, who even are you? You're not with the Lord like us. Because the Jordan River is kind of dividing us, and someday it might be like, you guys from Reuben and Gad? Nah, you're out. And our kids would get ghosted from worshiping. So we were like, let's build an altar. Not for BBQs or anything, but a landmark, you know? A total witness that we're still down with the Lord. So in the future, if your kids get judgy, we'll just point and be like, check it. This altar is our receipt. We're still part of the Lord's fam. We'd never rebel against the Lord or ditch his tabernacle for some fake worship zone. No way. That's not our vibe. When Phinehas the priest and all the Israelite leaders heard their explanation, they were like, oh snap, that actually makes sense. Phinehas was like, whoa dudes, today we totally see the Lord is still with us. You didn't turn your back, so we're all good now. Crisis averted. So Phinehas and the squad headed back from Gilead to Canaan and gave the Israelite fam the update. The whole group was stoked and praised God, and they were like, no need to throw down. Let's not wreck their land. We're chill now. And the Reuben and Gad crew named the altar Ed, which basically means witness, because it stands as proof that the Lord is totally God. Joshua chapter 23. So way later, after the Lord totally gave Israel some chill time from their enemies, Joshua was getting super old and all graybeard vibes. He summoned all of Israel, elders, bosses, judges, and squad leaders, and was like, okay dudes, I'm totally ancient now. You guys, you've seen the Lord your God pull off some seriously gnarly moves against all those nations. He's totally the one who fought your battles. Check it. I've divvied up the leftover nations for you as tribe prizes, from the Jordan River all the way to the Big OL Sea in the west. And the Lord your God, he's gonna shove them out of your way and boot them from your sight. You'll totally take over, just like he pinky promised. So be totally bold and stick to the script, that book of the law Moses wrote down. Don't veer off course, not even a smidge. And don't go mixing it up with those leftover nations. Don't even name drop their bogus gods. Don't swear by them. Don't serve them. And don't bow down. EW. Instead, cling to the Lord your God like you've been doing so far. Major props for that, by the way. The Lord booted out some pretty beefy nations in front of you. and no one's been able to mess with you since. One of you can totally chase off 1,000, 'cause the Lord your God fights for you like hardcore. So, stay woke and seriously love the Lord your God. But if you ghost him and start vibing with the leftovers, like marrying them and chilling in their circles, just know, for sure, the Lord's not gonna boot out your enemies anymore. They'll be like spiritual bear traps and cactus needles in your eyes until you're wiped off this totally sweet land the Lord gave you. So real talk, I'm about to peace out for good, like all humans eventually do. But you know deep in your soul that the Lord totally came through on every single thing he said. No promises flopped. 0. And just like he brought all the good stuff, he'll also bring the not-so-fab stuff if you blow it. He'll boot you off this primo land if you go full rebel. If you ditch the Lord's covenant, worship rando gods, and bow to them like they're TikTok famous, the Lord's gonna get righteously angry. And boom, you're toast off this land real quick. Joshua chapter 24. So Joshua gathered everyone, all the tribes at Shechem, right? He called up the elders, head honchos, judges, and squad captains, and they totally showed up before God. And Joshua was like, "Okay, everyone, listen up. The Lord God of Israel says, back in the old days, your great-great-great-granddads like Terah, he was Abe's and Nachor's dad, lived on the other side of the river, and they were totally into other gods, lame. But then I totally grabbed Abraham and showed him around Canaan, gave him so many descendants, and blessed him with Isaac. Then I gave Isaac some kids, Jacob and Esau. I handed Esau Mount Seir to chill in, and Jacob's crew cruised down to Egypt. Later, I sent Moses and Aaron to throw some epic plagues on Egypt and led your folks out of there. Big exit vibes. You came to the sea, and the Egyptians chased you down like maniacs with horses and chariots to the Red Sea. But then you cried out to me, and I made it super dark between you and the Egyptians, then totally drowned them. You saw it, and then you wandered the wilderness for a while, like forever. I brought you into the Amorite zone on the other side of the Jordan. They tried to rumble with you, but I was like, nope, and handed them over, land and all. Then Balak, the Moabite king, tried to cancel you by hiring Balaam to curse you. But I wasn't having it. Instead, Balaam straight up blessed you. Boom, rescued again. So you crossed the Jordan, rolled up to Jericho, and all those ites came at you, Amorites, Perizzites, etc., but I delivered them right into your hands. I even sent hornets ahead of you, and they were like, bye. And it wasn't even your sword or bow. Nope. And I gave you land you didn't even work for, cities you didn't build but totally live in, and vineyards and olive groves you didn't plant but still get to munch on. Pretty sweet, huh? So now totally respect the Lord. Serve him for real, no faking. Ditch those bogus gods your fam used to worship and go all in on the Lord. But if you think serving God is cringe, then fine, choose who you're gonna serve. The old school gods, the Amorite ones, but as for me and my crew, we're Team Lord all the way. And the people were like, no way, we're not ditching the Lord for other gods. He's the one who totally got us out of Egypt, rescued us from bondage, showed us awesome miracles, and kept us safe on our epic road trip. He kicked out all those nations, even the tough ones, so we're absolutely serving the Lord. He's our God. But Joshua hit M with a reality check. You can't just casually serve the Lord. He's wholly intense, and not into people cheating on him with other gods. If you dump him and flirt with strange gods, he'll flip the script and bring the heat. No more Mr. Nice God. But the people were like, nah, for real, we're totally serving the Lord. So Joshua was like, cool, but just so you know, you're basically testifying against yourselves that you chose him. And they were like, totally, we're witnesses. Alrighty then, said Joshua, Toss those weirdo gods and give your whole heart to the Lord God of Israel." And the people said, "We're in. We'll serve him and totally listen to whatever he says." So Joshua made it official, covenant style, and laid down some laws in Shechem that very day. He wrote it all down, took a big rock, and set it up under an oak tree by the Lord's holy spot. Joshua told them, "This rock heard everything. It's like a cosmic witness, bro, so don't try and ghost God later." Then Joshua was like, "Peace out," and everyone went back to their own spot. After all that, Joshua, legendary servant of the Lord, passed away at 110 years old. They buried him in his inheritance turf at Timnath-serah in Ephraim, just north of Mount Gash. Israel kept riding with the Lord the whole time Joshua was around, and even after, as long as the OG elders who'd seen all God's wild works were alive. They even brought Joseph's bones, the ones from Egypt, and buried them in Shechem, in land Grandpa Jacob bought, and it became a heritage for the Joseph fam. Eleazar, Aaron's son, also passed away. He got buried on a hill that belonged to his son Phinehas, in Ephraim too.